Now, Brazen Hussies. What's this about?
Wow, let's hope that I can keep calm enough to talk through this film. This movie started playing in a longer version on the festival circuit in Australia late last year. It's a documentary. There's now a shorter version playing on ABC iView, not for much longer. So I do urge people who are interested to really jump on this. I think it's very much essential viewing. The timing could not be better with everything going on in this country when we think of names like Grace Tame, Brittany Higgins, uh, allegations against the Attorney General, the alleged desecration of prayer rooms at Parliament House, and what I heard referred to today as Wankgate. I mean, Australia really hasn't had a full-on proper Me Too moment, the scale of this before. And
No.
Brazen Hussies, I mean, it's almost depressing in a way how completely timely this film is. Just I saw it on the evening of the March for Justice, marches across the country, and it was really powerful. It was a really distressing view, but also a very important one. So this documentary brings the history of the women's movement, or what was then called, the women's liberation movement, or women's lib, during the mid-60s through to the mid-70s, and really puts it under the microscope. And what is so shocking to me is how this film really spells out how many of the things that they were fighting for then are still so relevant now. There was just an explosion of fury then that the desire to be heard, to be taken seriously, for women not to be ignored. That's what this documentary is about all these years ago, decades and decades ago. And they're things that we're still dealing with very much in the public forum today. The film is narrated by Sigrid Thornton, who I didn't know, but her mother was a very key feminist activist during this period. And there's some really just enthralling women who were interviewed in this documentary. Some are better known than others. We have people like Jenny Thornley, Martha and Sarah and Summers, who are perhaps not household names, but they really have such an important story to tell. There's a great little anecdote in here. I obviously don't want to give too much away from the film, but there's a woman who starts going to women's liberation meetings during this era. And she realized after going to a few meetings that she didn't actually know anybody's names, because she would arrive and women were just so angry that there was no time for manners. There was no time for polite introductions. And she uses the phrase women on fire. And that's exactly what I see now. That's what I see in this country now. And, where I see it is school pickup. My son is in primary school, and that's where I see women on fire. I see it on social media, sure, it's where a lot of us see it, but it's on the streets. It's not just the marches, it's in the supermarkets, it's school pickup. It's the way that women are talking between themselves. This film is just an extraordinarily timely history lesson. It gives us a backstory to everything that's going on now. It's incredible.
All right, here's a little bit of the trailer.
What you're really saying is that you men are superior in every way to all women.
Well, that's putting it very simplistically, but basically, yes.
It's really hard to explain what it was like growing up in the 50s.
We were conditioned to be servants to men.
All of us were hijacked in this kind of like domestic nightmare.
Up until now, the world has been run by men.
That repression of the 50s was really kind of exploding.
I felt like I got hit with a sledgehammer. This incredible conversion experience.
I remember thinking, we can start the revolution with this. This'll do.
And Brazen Hussies on ABC iView.
I'll give it a 5 out of 5, but it deserves more.